r/AskReddit asks. What is absolutely unnecessary? Gold flakes on food. It's both expensive and tasteless. Kibi. Jumping on the short and meaningless entertainment train, TikTok duets where the second person doesn't add anything to it. A video of a guy singing and playing the guitar while bouncing to the beat on a pogo stick is talented and good content. A duet with that video where you're just sitting there eating a donut and nodding is not. Dog and cat breeds with those fucked up noses. We have adopted 2 pugs. They are often discarded from breeders once they get too old or sick, and also from people who surrender them to the rescue organization because they can afford to take care of them. Both dogs have had cancer of various sorts, bad legs, ear infections and skin disorders that have taken a lot of time and money to fix. We can afford it and we love them, so no problem, we'll take more when we can. We aim to give them the best life they can have. Some have truly horrendous lives. So please don't buy pugs, especially from backyard breeders, and only adopt if you can afford to take care of them and give them a good life. Arguing with kids under the age of 10. How counterintuitive it might seem, but it's actually very beneficial for the child. Arguing with the child, negotiating with him/her, boosts their confidence greatly, and help them understand the world around them, making them feel more safe and mentally healthy, by slowly realizing that not everything is arbitrary. They can't do such because such and such, they must do such because such and such. It also helped them gain some communication and negotiating skills. That way they would understand that there is rules, they exist for a reason, and they would learn to play by these rules. There is a saying, talk to your child as an adult, treat him like a child, which basically means that you should respect him like you would an adult, but remember that you are in charge at the end of the day. Nipples on the batsuit. You trying to get smacked? Rudeness. We all have bad days, issues in life, maybe a sick family member or yourself. It still doesn't give you a right to be mean to others. Never let your own mood affect the way you treat others. Easier said than done, but I try to remember this when I'm feeling impatient and angry. Ticketmaster and StubHub. As a local musician, I can say that, while Ticketmaster is literally Satan for any reputable act, us shitty cover bands have no way to validate real tickets from fake tickets without Ticketmaster. It just makes it so much easier to have a basic level of authentication for the sales of tickets we all have to make. Putting people down for no reason. He was old, and in a lot of pain. He had had a good life, but it was time to end. Being bothered by how other people live their lives when they aren't hurting anyone or themselves. I've never understood it. Today someone tried to hurt my feelings by commenting on my art Instagram by mentioning my abortion, which isn't new news. I'm an advocate and supporter of PP and the right to choose. What's the point of commenting something just to hurt someone, that it may not even hurt? It's just rude and makes the other person feel more sorry for the commenter. Most meetings. We have email. Exactly. It depends on the purpose of the meeting and the culture of the office. Oh, and how well the meeting is run. I came from a culture that was very collaborative, and it was important to at least get to the appearance of consensus. And we had a very weak boss, who would say go figure it out if you asked for a decision. It was very inefficient but necessary. I adopted the GTD approach for the meetings I ran, so we at least knew what the next actions were, who was going to do them, and when they'd be done. My job now is I and a couple of my colleagues will get a meeting notice from the boss on 20 minutes notice. We scamper up to his office, or now Skype in. He talks for 30 minutes and ends the meeting. Then we have to spend another hour trying to figure out what he just asked for and try to divvy it up amongst ourselves, but none of actually knows precisely what we've just been asked to do so or by when. I take the long discussions about everyone's feelings that resulted in defined actions over the drive-bys from the boss I get now. A short version of the movie trailer before the actual movie trailer on YouTube. Planned obsolescence. I can imagine someone making an argument that it's necessary to do to thrive in the competitive business context that we are in. I would argue that any context which makes it necessary is flawed. If planned obsolescence is necessary in the context of capitalism that we exist in, then this demonstrates a defect with the capitalism we exist in, itself. Yes, it is sad. 20-year-old fridge goes out. You think, well, 20 years, that was pretty good. Get a brand new, energy-efficient model that croaks after 2 years. And they are all about the same. We have no choice but to buy garbage anymore. Clip show episodes in sitcoms. They're a relic of having long-term narrative arcs in days before binging and on-demand shows. Let's go back to, say, 1998. Friends is huge, but it's not like you buy the seasons in VHS, DVD isn't around yet. Major narrative points are coming up, but in order to remind people of 3 to 4 years of context where no one rewatched episodes. Enter the clip show the week before the big episode. It's weird having those episodes as part of the larger streaming versions of these shows, but they served their purpose at the time. Shows doing them nowadays? Yeah, no. Using straw man tactics. You're wasting everyone's time. And if you need to misrepresent your opponent's viewpoint in order to effectively argue against it, they probably have the more sensible opinion. Fix your teen and conversion therapy. Seriously. What is the point of civilization if it isn't supporting the people living within it? Especially children. I thought that was the whole point of getting out of the weather and away from the saber-toothed tigers.